then, let your dominant intention be just to get into the vortex.
It seems like I have a lot of things that come up and I get thrown out of the vortex. So what I'm wanting is that inspiration to come in. And
but what you're saying, hear the foolishness of what you said.
Okay.
And we really like it when we get really clear foolishness because it makes a big point. What you said is, or what we said was, the clarity's in the vortex. And you're saying, give me the clarity so I can... And we say, go in the vortex where the clarity is. And you say, no, give me the clarity and then I'll go in the vortex. And we say, well, the clarity's in the vortex. You got to figure out how to get in there. And you say, that's my point. That's my point. Clarity's in there. I want it. I'm out here without it. Can't you bring a little bit out here so I can get in? And we say, oh, there's hopefulness outside the vortex. In other words, hope is lingering on the edge. So if you linger more hopefully, in other words, if you just try to be more optimistic. But here's the thing. Aren't there dozens, if not hundreds, of subjects that you already feel good about? Couldn't you use any of those as your reason to be in the vortex? In other words, you don't have to... The vortex doesn't say, wrestle your problem to the ground, and when it's proper, we'll allow you to drag it into the vortex. That's not how it works at all. The vortex is over there spinning with everything that you have become and everything that you want and all cooperative components gathered, and you just want to stop beating the drum of what's not in the vortex, and when you stop beating the drum of what's not in the vortex will take you in. Really, it's like that. You don't have to try to get into the vortex, you just have to stop doing the stuff you're doing that keeps you out. And the stuff that you're doing that keeps you out is complaining, worrying, watching CNN. The stuff that keeps you out is anything that you're doing when you feel negative emotion. And so meditation is a way in, basking is a way in, playing a foolish game. Esther's been playing a foolish game of ABC, where she looks for an in the vortex word that starts with every letter. Appreciation, basking, clarity, delicious, ease, flow, happy. In other words, and the game is quite interesting, actually, because some of the letters are hard. And you just can't focus on something like that and focus upon anything that holds you out of the vortex at the same time. So in you go, and a whiff of inspiration hits you, and then, if you're wise enough to know that inspiration means you are now a cooperative component, act on the inspiration that you felt. Now you're in the game, you see. Think about it. You lingered on the edge of the vortex. You didn't mean to be out, but life sucks. So you're out. So you meditate, or you play the silly ABC game, or whatever, or you visit with someone who's a little more optimistic, or any number of things can bring you to the brink of the vortex, which is hopeful, and then you manage to be there in the absence of resistance just enough that the vortex takes you in. So now the vortex takes you in, and you feel an impulse to do something, like raise your hand. You feel an impulse to do something, like make a phone call, or write something down, or draw something. You feel an impulse, you feel an impulse to Google something, or to call someone. So you feel the impulse, and you recognize it because it's soon after this conversation where we've talked about inspiration and inspired action. So you follow through with action on that inspiration, and because it was inspiration, and it was, we're not kidding you, that phone call is a productive motion forward phone call, and you say, yes. Now, you're not just hoping, now you're believing for a moment. Now, we didn't say the vortex will take you in and make a believer out of you. The vortex will take a hoper in and make a hoper a stronger hoper. the vortex will take a hoper in and make a hoper a stronger hoper until the hoper is believing in the vortex, if not believing in himself. Believing in the law of attraction, if not believing in himself. Believing that some things go well, if not believing that all things go well. Believing that things are getting better, if not believing everything will get better. You see what we're getting at? Believing, hoping, believing, hoping, believing, hoping. But you follow enough of those impulses, you get hopeful often enough and follow enough of those impulses so that you're in the vortex more, before you know it, enough things are moving in your direction that you'll say, hey, I'm back in the groove. I'm in the zone. I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll. I should buy a lottery ticket. Things are going really well. When you get that impulse, buy a lottery ticket. When you get that impulse, in other words, when the impulse comes to change lanes, change lanes. Esther is driving. She can feel something going on, so she slows way down. The monster bus is big. In fact, there are a lot of stoplights in a lot of cities that are really tricky. They've got cameras on them and really short yellow lights. Really, really short yellow lights. It's not easy to bring that bus down to a stop position when they're moving through town. And so there are quite a few photographs being sent to the office of Esther making her way through these stoplights. You say, well, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. So the vortex is giving you these impulses, and when you follow through with an impulse, what begins to happen is you feel the momentum of it. In other words, the momentum of being in the vortex, the momentum of things working for you, causes you to move on subject after subject from hope to belief to expectation, which means you've trained your point of attraction into a different place. And when you train your point of attraction into a different place, you rendezvous, hear this, you rendezvous with the cooperative components that are cooperative components of what you want, instead of the cooperative components that are the cooperative components with what you don't want. It really is that simple. If you feel annoyed a lot, you are a vibrational match. You are a cooperative component to things you don't want.
So that means you really don't take action unless you're in the vortex.
We wouldn't take action unless we felt inspired. We would not motivate ourselves to action. And we would call motivation doing it because I think I should. We would call inspiration doing it because it feels like something I want to do. When you're in the vortex, it always feels like it. And it's interesting because you live with each other, and a lot of mothers feel inspired to tell their kids to do stuff. In other words, when you feel the inspiration for a clean house and then you try to motivate somebody to help you, it doesn't work out very well. And so then you get better at your motivation tactics, and then you try to use them on yourself. You try to pump yourself up. And we just want you to know that there's this huge energy that when you work in concert with it, then life is blissful. Esther's favorite alphabet words are ease and flow, ease and flow, ease and flow. When she found those words, ease and flow, she usually spends 2 minutes on ease and flow, ease and flow. ABCD, ease and flow, ease and flow, ease and flow. It's just such a delicious contemplation, the ease and flow, because the engine is the vortex, the engine is the law of attraction, the engine is the larger source energy part of her. It's already done, it's present tense, ease and flow. There's nothing that I have to do, but there's plenty that I want to do. In other words, when you do it because you want to do it,